Let's talk about something most men completely miss. Attraction between people is rarely loud or obvious. It lives in the quiet moments, the small gestures, the things that happen just beneath the surface of a conversation. And when it comes to how women express genuine interest, those signals are often so subtle that they pass by unnoticed entirely. So today we're going to decode 5 of those hidden signals, not just so you can recognize them, but so you understand the psychology driving them. Because once you understand the why, everything starts to make sense. Here's the thing that makes this worth your time. Learning to read these behaviors is not about manipulation or playing games. It's about building real, respectful connections rooted in mutual understanding. When you develop the ability to distinguish between genuine attraction and simple politeness, you stop second-guessing yourself. You show up with clarity and confidence, and that alone changes the entire dynamic of how you relate to people. Think about a time when you felt like the signals you were getting were completely contradictory. One moment there seemed to be real warmth and engagement, and the next, distance. That kind of confusion usually comes from not having a framework for reading nonverbal communication. Women, far more than most people realize, express attraction through behavior rather than words. And when you learn that language, you gain access to a whole different level of connection. To understand why these signals exist, you have to look at the psychology underneath them. Evolutionary patterns have shaped the way attraction is communicated. For a very long time, women have been drawn toward qualities that signal emotional security, inner stability, and genuine attentiveness. It has very little to do with material possessions or surface-level status. What actually creates attraction on a deeper level is how a person makes someone feel. When a woman feels genuinely seen, truly heard, and valued as an individual, something shifts in her emotionally. A sense of connection forms that goes beyond anything physical. That's the real foundation of attraction. And these 5 signs are its outward expression. So what is the first signal to watch for? It's in the eyes. When a woman is genuinely drawn to someone, her eye contact changes. It becomes longer, more deliberate, more present. This isn't an accidental glance held a second too long. It's something intentional. From a psychological standpoint, sustained eye contact is one of the clearest bridges to emotional intimacy. It communicates openness. It says, without a single word being spoken, that she is present with you in a way she isn't with just anyone. When you notice this happening, the right response is to meet it with calm confidence. Don't look away nervously, but don't stare her down either. Hold that gaze in a relaxed, grounded way, let a natural smile follow, and let the moment speak for itself. That shared eye contact becomes a silent conversation all on its own. The second signal moves from the eyes to the hands. Pay close attention to whether she initiates any form of physical contact, even the smallest kind. A brush of her fingers against your arm, a light touch on your shoulder when she laughs, a brief moment where her hand connects with yours while making a point in conversation. These gestures can seem almost accidental, but they rarely are. Touch, in this context, is a bridge. It's the body's way of closing the emotional distance that words sometimes can't. When a woman feels genuinely comfortable with someone, physical touch becomes a natural extension of that comfort. She's testing the connection in the most subtle way possible, checking how you respond. The appropriate answer is to mirror her energy without rushing anything. If she touched your arm, a calm, natural touch on her hand or shoulder at the right moment tells her you're on the same page. The key is to stay relaxed, stay within the boundaries she's already established, and let things unfold at a pace that feels natural to both of you. Now let's look at the third signal, which shows up in the way she listens. When a woman is truly interested, her entire body leans into the conversation. She nods, she mirrors your posture. She asks follow-up questions that show she was actually absorbing what you said, not just waiting for her turn to speak. Maybe she laughs at something you said a little more freely than the situation strictly calls for. These are not small things. Active, engaged listening is one of the most telling signs that someone is emotionally invested in you. When a person prioritizes what you're saying, when they're hanging on your words rather than scanning the room, it means you matter to them in that moment. Your job is to meet that with the same quality of presence. Be genuinely engaged. Lean in when she speaks. Ask questions that invite her to go deeper. Don't perform interest. Actually have it. When both people are truly present in a conversation, something real builds between them almost effortlessly. The fourth signal is a little more playful. If she's gently poking fun at you, throwing out light challenges, or getting into a mock debate over something completely inconsequential, that is not indifference, that is flirtation. Playful teasing is a deeply human way of building connection. Psychologically, it creates a unique kind of intimacy because it requires a level of comfort that doesn't exist with strangers. She's letting her guard down. She's having fun with you specifically, not just in your presence. When you see this, step into it. Match her energy, respond with humor, and show her that you can give as good as you get without turning it into a competition. If she teases you about something small, laugh and toss something back with a grin. What you want to avoid is getting defensive or treating it more seriously than it's meant. Playfulness thrives when both people are light on their feet, and when you demonstrate that you can roll with it, you show her a side of yourself that is genuinely appealing. The fifth signal might be the most straightforward, but it's also the most meaningful. It comes down to time. When a woman likes someone, she makes space for them in her schedule. Not because she has nothing else going on, but because she wants to. Whether it's agreeing to grab coffee, suggesting plans unprompted, or finding a few minutes to check in during a hectic day, these choices reflect priority. And people only prioritize what matters to them. Time is genuinely one of the most valuable things anyone can offer, and when someone consistently chooses to spend it with you, that speaks louder than almost anything else. When you recognize this signal, acknowledge it. A sincere expression of gratitude, something as simple as genuinely appreciating that she made time, lands more powerfully than most people expect. And then match it. Show up fully, be present when you're together, and make it clear that her time is something you take seriously too. That mutual investment is what transforms interest into something that actually lasts. Now, a word of caution. Not every warm gesture is a declaration of attraction. A polite smile, a brief compliment offered in passing, a short but pleasant exchange, these things can simply be kindness. Context shapes meaning. Any single behavior on its own doesn't tell you much. What you're looking for is a pattern, multiple signals appearing together, consistently across different moments. A warm smile paired with sustained eye contact and an engaged conversation is a pattern worth paying attention to. A smile on its own might just mean she's having a good day. The difference matters, and learning to read the whole picture rather than fixating on individual moments will spare you from a lot of unnecessary confusion. And resist the urge to overanalyze every interaction. That kind of constant dissection breeds anxiety and makes you less present, which is the last thing you want. If you're genuinely unsure where things stand, a calm and confident observation like, "I feel like we really connect well, what do you think?" can cut through the ambiguity without making things awkward. When you start noticing these signs, the most important thing you can bring to the moment is confidence. Not performance, not arrogance, just a settled, secure sense of self that lets you respond naturally without second-guessing every move. Attraction lives and breathes in authenticity. When you're relaxed and present, when you're not forcing anything or trying to engineer a particular outcome, the connection has room to develop on its own terms. And when the moment feels right, take the step. Ask her out. Suggest something you could do together, or simply tell her directly that you enjoy spending time with her. To bring it all together, the 5 signals to watch for are sustained and intentional eye contact, small deliberate touches, active and engaged listening, playful teasing, and flirting, and the consistent choice to make time for you. Each one on its own is a piece of the picture. Together they paint something unmistakable. Start noticing them, start responding to them with presence and confidence, and watch how your connections deepen. If any of this resonated with you or brought a specific moment to mind, share it. Someone in your life probably needs to hear this too.